In this video, I'm going to share how I got paid $250 to give a 30-minute sales training to an insurance company, the exact custom cold calling script I built out for them, and my cold call Moneyball metrics that you can start using today in your own sales job to better track your efficiency so that you get more success sooner rather than later. The reason I got paid to give sales training to an insurance company is because I've been documenting my own sales journey and sharing actionable sales insights across my 5-year tech sales career. 900 YouTube videos. I generated $1.54 million in new revenue my first 9 quarters as an account executive, 60,000 cold calls. A leader in my network took notice, a managing director at a large insurance company, and he said, "Hey Trent, it looks like you're out of work. Do you want to come speak with me to help me improve my sales process?" I agreed. We landed on $250. In hindsight, I wish I would have charged way more on that to come at the end of the video. And it turns out he wanted to include his team on the call, which had me a bit nervous because multiple people were in the room. There was an executive who had been working in insurance for 30 years. So I'm thinking to myself, I've worked in tech sales for 5 years. What can I possibly tell them that they don't already know? My entire presentation was focused around helping them redefine the product positioning and the buying experience for the customer. The biggest challenge insurance companies face when it comes to sales is their product is generally viewed as a commodity, meaning you don't care if you're buying insurance from company A or company B because it's basically the same thing. There's just slight nuances with the policy, the coverage, the payment, et cetera, et cetera. And I believe that this is a challenge many of you are facing today, whether you're selling cars, whether you're selling software, whether you're selling other financial service products, is customers may already be doing something today with a competitor and they don't know how you are different, or they're doing nothing today and they don't know the implications of doing nothing. So it's your job as the salesperson to position, well, hey, what are the problems or the issues you may not be thinking about? For example, when it comes to insurance, are you considering that the economic environment has changed drastically and you need to change your business as a result? You start talking about SVB Bank and you say, well, hey, interest rates are changing, banks are collapsing. If you're running your business based on assumptions you had had 3 years ago, you got to change things. Hey, are you receiving great service today? Hey, what are you paying? Is your cost inflating over time with this economic environment? So those are different problems that I encourage them to think about to incorporate in their messaging. The exact cold calling script I share with their team is this right here. Hey Cal, this is Trent from Yellow Insurance. How have you been? Oh, great. The reason I'm calling you today is we're noticing customers of ours today are increasingly facing rising cost of their insurance rates. Let's find 15 minutes later this week to set up a health check so that your team is set up for the best success possible. The reason I like this cold calling script is because it starts out with, hey, this is Trent from insert company name. Think about that commercial, Jake from State Farm. It always rings in my head. So open every cold call. Hey, Jimmy, this is Trent from insert company name. How are you? How have you been? That will tell you everything you need to know about getting into the meeting. You don't need to say, this is a cold call. Can I talk to you? If they do object, hey, may I have 30 seconds for me to tell you the reason why I'm calling? Don't go away easy, get into the pitch. You immediately get into the reason why I'm calling. The reason why I'm calling you is that I'm following up on a recent email I sent you. Does insert company name ring a bell? You can say that as a low level, or you can position yourself as a thought leader, as an expert, and build credibility. Hey, we're observing customers of ours are not experiencing great levels of service. We want to help change that. You're starting to position the problem they could be facing that you could come in and solve and then justify them switching to your product service solution. In the case of insurance, we focus specifically on rising cost of inflation and them needing to run their business differently. And then the purpose of the cold call is to not sell them on your company, not to sell them on yourself. It's to sell them on another meeting to set up time. Low barrier to ask. Immediately get into the ask for their time. Let's find 15 minutes to set up a health check, something new, not a meeting, so that we can make sure you are actually paying for what you need because things have changed so much. Is that reasonable? Of course they're going to say yes at that point, or they're going to give you an objection, which is another video for another time. You can visit the first link in the description below for my cold calling guide that handles all objections you could be facing. And they love that cold calling script and they're going to start using it. One of the salespeople on the call, he's like, hey, well, I make 80 calls a day. How can I be more efficient with my calls? and I said, look, we got to start making 100 calls a day first and foremost, and adopt my cold call Moneyball metrics. When you take a step back from cold calling, you don't want to just call for the vanity metric and talk about, well, I made 6,000 cold calls, I'm special. How many live conversations, meetings set, pipeline generated, revenue recognized has happened as a result of your efforts? So when you unpack cold calling, you have answer rate, set rate, show rate, conversion rate. Answer rate, what percentage of calls you make actually get answered by customers. Set rate, what percentage of those live conversations actually result in you setting a meeting. Of those set meetings, show rate, what percentage of meetings actually happen. And then conversion rate, of those meetings that actually happen, what percentage convert into a qualified opportunity or the next step in the sales cycle. A good answer rate is 6%, a good set rate is 15%, a good show rate is about 80%, a good conversion rate is about 90%. So when you look at this, 1,000 calls, and you refine that through the filter, you only have about 6.5 qualified opportunities when you do the math. So look at your numbers, and if you have your target, you quantify your numbers, you can reverse engineer the exact amount of activity you need to put in. I religiously track my answer rate and my set rate daily, and what I have observed over the course of multiple weeks, my answer rate's about 5% and my set rate's about 13%. So I'm below my benchmarks, and they're benchmarks for a reason. You aspire to get to that level. Some days you'll have 0% answer rate, 0% set rate. Some days you'll have 30% set rate, 5% answer rate. Over the course of time, the numbers will average out. So if you ever let one horrible day dictate you then taking less action in that afternoon or the following day, you are putting yourself and your company at risk. So keep showing up consistently each and every day. I am not a professional sales trainer. Unless you have a number that is so much money that I simply cannot turn it down, and you can reach out to me on LinkedIn with any business inquiries. I am starting a business. Let me rephrase. I have started a business. I've partnered with 2 people based completely in different areas. More information to come on that. But our mission is to empower tech sales professionals to maximize their potential. We are focused specifically on helping sales development reps maximize their income earning potential, their work-life balance potential, and their career potential. If you are interested in learning more about the program I am building and will be offering me, message me on LinkedIn to get early access, and we can talk specifically about feedback you may have and opportunities to partner. That's what I'm working on in the meantime. I don't want to do sales training because I don't want to directly trade my time for money. I'm interested in completely delinking my time for money by taking my expertise that I have built through firsthand experience, making it into a digital product, and servicing customers at scale in an automated way that helps make them more successful and helps me reach my desired goals and outcomes. If you'd like to support me in my journey, subscribe to the channel now. We have many, many more sales videos coming. Subscribe to my second channel, which will be linked below, Trent Dressel Sales and Marketing. I'm officially on Twitter, so we also have a link of that in the description below. And yes, that is 5 self-service plugs. If you're gonna be in sales, shamelessly plug yourself. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.